I'm done worrying about it. It's their problem. I'm going to concentrate on what I can control and what's good for my business. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome back to my channel. Let's launch this reseller, Rowboat. Hey guys, I'm settling in for another Rock and Talk. It's Friday night, June 6th. I hope you've had a wonderful week. So I am going to divide this video up into several sections: eBay, Poshmark, Shopify, and a little bit of YouTube and personal updates. So what I'm going to do for you guys so that you can just jump to whatever interesting to you is I'm going to put chapters so you can just jump to whatever you want to watch. And Kimmy, thanks for the idea. I'm using a ring light and it's also earlier than I usually film. So I think that this is about the best I can get the lighting, okay? I'm trying. So let's go ahead and talk about eBay. I have a list here. So my eBay store is currently up 3.2% from last month. And that's really good for me because last month I was down a little bit from April. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that April was my best month ever on eBay since I can ever remember. So if I keep this up, I'm going to have an amazing June. Let's hope so. My 7-day total right now is $1,137. So I am between my $1,000 and $1,200 goal every 7 days. And when I have that amount, I know that I can pay my bills at the end of the month and have a little bit extra to put into savings. However, this month I am going to have a few extra expenses, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh, what a week. What a week. I'm glad it's Friday. I plan to swim tomorrow. Okay, I'm just going to put that right there. Okay, so this past week, I sold about 7 appliance parts. The rest of it was mostly pre-owned clothing. Yeah, that's what it was. And I was really glad these appliances started selling because a few weeks ago I listed 5 machines, and 2 of those machines I bought at the flea market last month. And I bought them from a gentleman who had a lot of appliances in the box. Now, I thought they were new in the box, but that's kind of questionable. But I bought 1 espresso machine and I bought a Keurig Duo. I think it was 5100 was the model number. And I just thought, I'm just going to buy 1 of each, try them out, and see how they do. So they're selling really, really well. And I have a customer who bought 2 parts from the espresso machine at 2 different times. And when he got the second one, he said, hey, do you have a milk frother for this? And I'd already sold the milk frother. That's usually the first thing that sells, by the way. And I said, but I may be getting some more in a few weeks. And I think what he's doing, which is really, really smart, is he's buying extras so that if something breaks, he has a backup. So fortunately, he can wait a couple of weeks. If I can find this machine for him, he'll definitely buy the milk frother for me. Not too sure if I'm going to go buy any more of the Keurigs though, because it's the water tank that sold so fast and the rest of the parts are sitting. Now it's only been a couple of weeks. Maybe they will sell eventually. I'm not sure if I just want to buy these machines just for the water tank and have to store the rest. I'm just going to go see what he has. I'm going to go this weekend and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Well, I'm going to go and talk about that now. I need to go spend the night with my parents Sunday night. So I've decided I'm going to go to the flea market on Sunday morning and basically look for these. Also, the steamer that I bought, it was my first steamer and it's been selling. The parts have been selling off of that. So I don't have to worry about, I thought this is my first steamer. Do I really want to try it? Yeah, I do. So I think I do have one floor brush that I have a feeling is going to come back. I asked the guy to cancel. He wouldn't cancel. He admitted to me that that was not his model number, but that it looked like it would fit. And I said, yeah, it could look like it fits, but like in our listing says, if this is not your model number, please find this part somewhere else. And he would not cancel the order. So, knock on wood, if that one comes back, I may try to withhold some money for the shipping because I asked him to cancel and several times, at least twice, and he didn't do that. And I just feel like, why should I pay for this to come back? It's not really right. So yeah, eBay's going really well right now. I made a mistake, as I most often do. And so I needed to inventory my novelty section on eBay. And for those of you who don't watch me on a regular basis, I take inventory every day by taking certain sections down off of eBay. And then one by one, I go through the boxes and make sure they're listed. I change a picture, change a couple of words in the title, spruce it up. Sometimes I change the price, sometimes I change the category, and then I put them in my drafts, and then when they go into list perfectly, they get cross-listed to Poshmark and Shopify. Well, in order to do that, when I'm holding the item in my hand, I take it off of Poshmark Shopify, and it's already taken off of eBay. And as you guys know, I got suspended last month on Poshmark, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And so I found myself second guessing myself, which is wrong, saying to myself, I don't want to get suspended again on Poshmark. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to inventory 1 to 2 boxes a day, which is about 14 to 16 items. And some of them aren't on Poshmark, so I'm not taking them off, okay? But majority of them are. And I found myself like slowing down on my inventory. Well, I have 250 items, and some of the items, guys, in that section are 4th of July patriotic tops and jackets and sweaters and vests. And I was like, oh man, it's June. I need to get these things back up there so they'll sell. Why am I slowing myself down? So, as of today, I'm inventorying like crazy, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But that was a mistake on my part. I was just tired of inventorying jeans and capris and skinny jeans and boot cut, and because I kept thinking if I keep putting jeans up only, it's going to slow my sales down, which is typically what happens when I put a bunch of the same type of things up. So I was trying to cool it on the denim, but I ended up messing myself up. So tomorrow I will be home, and in the afternoon I'll be doing some more inventorying, and I don't know when else I'm going to do it. And we'll talk about my life. My life is crazy busy. I'm not going to be able to do any more work on eBay really until Wednesday. So that's a bummer. But yeah, so anyway, so let's go ahead and go to Poshmark because this kind of crosses over to Poshmark, but I'm going to start the chapter here. So I did get suspended a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the description one more time, a link to the letter. If you get suspended or you get a warning that you might be suspended, just click on that link, pick which letter you want, warning or suspension, copy it, and reply to the Poshmark's email, and you should get unsuspended. I want to remind you that you don't have to pay for anything, you don't have to subscribe from anything, but I do want to thank Michael Jean from Sidekick Tools for creating these letters and giving this information out without expecting anything back. So I finally decided, as of I guess yesterday, I was like, you know what, I really don't care. I am not going to worry about this anymore. This is not my problem. This is Poshmark's problem. If they don't want me to list right now, then, and those things sell and they don't want that sale, that's on them. It'll sell on eBay, okay? And I tell you, when I do this inventory, after about a week, the items start selling. So that's their loss, not mine. For as little as I make on Poshmark, it's not worth it. I'm going to put my effort and my worry into things that I can control, not things I can't control, and things that are good for my business. And that's what I've decided to do. And, I just want to tell you guys, especially those of you who are newer sellers, you can get all the advice you want, but you've got a gut instinct and you need to stick with it for a while. Especially the seasoned sellers, right? Stick with it, listen to your gut, and everything's going to be fine. If I didn't have Poshmark's income that they give me every month, yeah, it would be a stretch. I might have to dip into my savings once in a while. It would be a stretch, but eventually, I think it would even out. Eventually I think I wouldn't even miss it. Okay, so if they ever get to a point where I can't delist, then, which is a possibility, if people quit, don't adhere to this new rule, they might eventually just say, well, you can't take anything down, and I'll just leave the stuff up, and I'll just keep canceling orders for not in stock, and I just won't list any more items. That's probably what I will do. But I figured that's kind of their next step, and I'm surprised that they're still doing this. I'm surprised that they're not having so many cancellations for out of stock, that they're not seeing how this is affecting sales, canceling sales for out of stock. I don't get it. But so I'm not worrying about Poshmark anymore, guys. I'm putting very minimal effort into it right now. Okay, Shopify. Those of you who've been watching me the last few weeks know that I ordered emery boards as promotional items for my Shopify store. I ordered 1,000 at 23 cents a piece. That was $230. Then it was $50 for the setup fee, and then 20 something dollars for shipping. All right. And the name of the company again is Rush Imprint. It says Rush, right? So what does that tell you? Well, you think maybe you'll get it quickly, right? Well, here's one of the issues. I wasn't able to order online. They were not receiving my logo and everything. I was submitting it, but they weren't receiving it. So I ended up purchasing these 1,000 emery boards through email. And the lady's been very helpful. All right. But what's going to happen is the next time I order, if I order again, is I won't be able to go online and order again, because if I do, it's seen as a very first order, and I would have to pay that $50 again for them to set it up. I have to order through email, and I've confirmed that with the company, and she said yes, you'll have to order through email. And that's a real bummer. But I can deal with that. What I'm having problems with is I officially paid on May 29th. All right. And on May 30th, I was told that it would be, first she said 7 days handling. And then she came back and said, oh, I'm sorry, it's 10 days. And so they are expected around June 19th. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but June 19th from May 29th is about 20 days. Maybe a couple days more. And I was like, you're saying 10 days and you're saying the 19th. That doesn't make sense. So then she says, well, it's 10 business days before it's shipped, and then we have to allow time for the shipment. So I'm still sitting here with no emery boards, and I'm a little peeved. But I told her it was fine. I didn't want to get, huffy about it. But to me, when your name says Rush in the title of your name, it kind of means that you're fast, right? And so I'm hoping that they're like Vistaprint and they under-promise and over-deliver and they come sooner. But I'm not so sure about that. Now, the reason I went with Rush Imprint and not 4imprint is 4imprint.com does not have the mini emery boards. And so we're talking 35 to 40 cents a piece for the, the normal size emery boards. And I just cannot afford that. I mean, my dad, when I told my dad I paid 23 cents, he just could not believe I paid 23 cents. I said, well, Dad, a writing pen's going to cost me $1.50 minimum. I've looked at other companies and they're starting at, well, yeah, 11 cents, but you have to order 250,000 of them. Like, no. Now, I am curious about the quality. I don't expect it to be such good quality that I could stand on it and it won't break. Okay, I'm not expecting that kind of quality, but I'm a little bit concerned now about the quality. So as soon as I get them, I will let you guys know. Need to let you know, I'll put it up on the screen. The store is tenofheartstore.com, and I did have a haul live stream on Monday or Tuesday of last week, Monday, and it didn't go very well because StreamYard is still not contacting me after 2 weeks of asking them what is wrong. Why can I not use StreamYard on my new channel? I've been approved. Don't know why it's not working. So, and then we'll talk in a minute why I didn't do a haul on Thursday. I've been having some issues and I didn't feel like I could go on live. But anyway, that's where I'm on my Shopify store. Still no sales, and I wanted to talk to you about one more thing. So I'm going to pause here for a second and I'll come right back. Okay, I almost fell over there. I had to go get my dog and I had to go get my phone. Now you're staying in here. You want it in here, you're staying in here. I'm so mean. Okay, so I wanted to talk about ads because for the longest time, I have been looking at YouTube videos on how to create ads for my store, Meta, Google, Facebook, that kind of thing. And they're either so confusing or the screen doesn't look the same as mine because the YouTube video is like a couple years old. Or you get to the end and they say, well, for help with this, give us a call and, we'll help you out. Pay this money, right? Buy this book, buy these tips. I don't want to do that, okay? I just want it short and simple. And nobody's doing that. Somebody told me, Beth, once you get into this ad thing, you're going to have so much fun. And I'm like, this is not fun. I am not having fun. I don't have time for this. I don't understand this. So I'm just going to scroll down here for a minute because I've got tons of them. And I'm just going to read you. If your meta ads aren't converting in 2025, read this. So let me go ahead and read something here. I'm just going to read a part of this one. The best method is doing a combination of all types of ads. If your brand is an e-commerce brand, you definitely need product shots and DPA. General rule of thumb, UGC/video for top of funnel, unaware audience. Static ads for mid-bottom of funnel, slightly aware audience. The ad creatives themselves are the most important. For UGC, you can look at what competitors are doing and get similar brief runs. Okay, I didn't understand one freaking word of that. The real game changer was implementing automated creative rotation based on audience engagement depth. Fresh visitors see polished brand content, while engaged users see authentic UGC. For the same jewelry client, this dynamic creative strategy improved overall ROAs from 2.1x to 3.4x, while scaling the $8,000 to $25,000 daily spend. Okay, I don't have $8,000 to $25,000 to spend every day. This is actually a very what do you call it? Easier post. Some of these posts I have no freaking clue what they're talking about. Meta ads beginner. Let me look at this one. Anyway, I am so lost. Like, some of these explanations are pages and pages long on Reddit, and I would have to get some type of dictionary just to define what all these abbreviations mean, and then I would have to put them together in a sentence to figure out what they mean. Like, it's like a new language. Okay, I don't have time for this shit. I'm sorry. Sorry to call it shit, but I don't understand why you can't just go on Facebook. And I get the testing part, okay? I get the testing part that, you do a video and you put it up, and you do a one with a still shot and you put it up, and maybe you do one with music and you put it up, and then you watch them, and then the ones that perform best, you recreate that. I get that, but that's not what this is. This is, some of this stuff is so complicated. And I think what scares me is these are my competitors, right? And they're not even seeing results, and they're all freaking out. And I'm thinking, man, is ads really the way to go for me? So I'm gonna I'm waiting for these emery boards patiently, and hopefully they'll come in on the 19th or sooner, and I can start putting them in the packages and get people over to my store. And again, I gave myself 2 years. I gave myself 2 months for my first sale, and I still haven't got it. It's been 2 months now, guys. Today was 2 months, I think. I'm not panicking, but I'm not real happy right now because it's like I'm not meeting my goal. But I want to tell you guys that we don't always meet our goals, right? And it's okay not to meet our goals, and it's okay not to get upset about not meeting our goals. And I think I will eventually meet my goal. If I don't, hey, 2 years from now, I shut the store down. That's all I got to say. I can't worry about it. Sure, I probably need to be doing ads, but I don't understand it. If anybody understands it, and I'll pay you something, but I'm not going to pay you, $8,000 to put up 3 or 4 ads. I'm just not, I don't have that kind of money, guys. It's scary, and again, this is not fun. And I guess I was expecting it to be fun because he told me it was going to be fun, and no, it's getting less fun as we go. I just wanted to say that I was thinking on my way home today, I was thinking, I am very unsettled right now, but I don't think it's about my Shopify store. I think it's the fact that I'm going to be doing something personally for the next 5 days and can't do hardly any work at all. I think that's what's got me unsettled. I don't think I'm really stressed, but I'm just a little unsettled. But I was thinking to myself, was this the right time to start a Shopify store? Did I make a mistake doing it now? Well, 2 years ago, I didn't have the repeat buyers, the loyal buyers that I have now. That's for darn sure. And I worked very hard to get those repeat buyers. And I had the money. It's not that I didn't have the money, but I didn't want to spend it on this. And now that I've got more money saved up and earmarked for this store, yes, it's kind of like, to me, when you are planning a family and people say, well, there's never a good time to have a baby. You might as well just go ahead and have a baby. There's never a good time to buy a house. There's never a good time, to move to a new city. I don't think that, with my parents are both 86. They both have health issues. They both need help from me, and I'm very happy to give it. I'm not complaining. But that part of my life is only going to get more complicated the longer time passes, right? That's going to also probably involve a move for me. And it's, yeah, I'm going to be retired, but then other things are going to be taking over my time. I mean, one of the reasons I want to retire is I want to be able to see my grandchildren more. And, am I really going to have that much more time to start a Shopify store 2 years from now? No. So I feel like this was the perfect time because I can give myself 2 years to try to build it. And then in 2 years, I'll be almost ready to retire, and then I can decide whether or not I want to keep it or not. But so, guys, again, don't second guess yourself. I mean, it's always good to plan and it's always good to make goals, but don't beat yourself up over the head like I have so many times when things aren't working out on your timeline, okay? Because sometimes your timeline is wrong and you have to give it a little bit longer. And that's what I'm going to do. I am not worried about my Shopify store. If it doesn't work, then I will happily come on here 2 years from now and tell you guys happily, but I will admit to you it didn't work. But I'm not going to say, you know, I'm a failure and, all that kind of, it just didn't work. It didn't work for me. Hopefully I won't be saying that though. Hopefully I'll be saying that it's good, it's paying its bills, it was worth it. Um, okay. Now we're going into more personal stuff. So I am bookmarking it here. Got my car back. It runs really, really well. And we've used this dealership before. I don't know if y'all have ever done this, but you've patronized a business for so long that you always go back to them no matter what, and then they do something stupid, and you go, that's it, I'm cutting them off, I'm never using them again. Well, that's what we did with this dealership about 4 years ago. And I did not buy my car from them. And but they're close by, and I had this problem with my car, and my warranty's going to be up on Monday. So I took it in last week. So they kept it over a week. Now, years ago, when you would take your car in just for an oil change, they would wash your car inside and out. And they did an oil change on my car this time. I have this, it's like 5 pages of everything they did in my car. I had 3 recalls, and they replaced the battery, they replaced the windshield wipers, they fixed a leak in my coolant. I didn't even know my coolant was leaking, and they fixed the problem that I originally brought it in for. So I thought, oh my God, I thought, well, they may not wash the inside of the car, but they're at least going to clean the outside of the car. No, they did not even wash the outside of my car, and I'm just like really irritated. I'm just really irritated, and to the point of like, where has your service gone? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it how people get, this is why people don't get repeat business. Something as simple as running the car through the car wash. Like I said, I wasn't expecting the inside to be done, even though they used to do the inside as well. I took everything out of my car thinking, oh, they're going to wash my car. So I think tomorrow one of the things on my list, if I have time, is while I don't have anything in my car, no inventory or anything, I'm going to run my car through a car wash. And I don't know if y'all remember, but a few years ago, I had some bags of shoes in my back seat that I had purchased from someone to sell. And they ran it through the car wash. And when I got my car back out, they had opened the bags, and a whole bunch of the tennis shoes were missing. And they were like Nike, Adidas, things like that. And I said, look, somebody got my shoes. And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. We don't know what you're talking about. And like, what am I supposed to do? It's their word against mine. So from then on, I never took my car to that car wash again. And anywhere I go, I don't have any inventory. I don't want any inventory or anything in my car. Not even a few pennies in my little coin thing. I don't want anything in there. So that's something I need to try to make time to do tomorrow. I don't know if I will. Okay, the reason I did not have my live stream on Thursday was, number one, StreamYard's still not helping me. And number two, my right eye sty got bigger, and my eye yesterday was huge. It's so much better today. And but now I'm having trouble with my left eye again. I have it's like cloudy on the top of my eye, and it goes away if I blink or use Visine or whatever, but it keeps coming back. Now, 8 years ago, I believe it was, I had what they call an oily drop cataract removed on my right eye. They call it the young person's cataract. Okay, so I was about 53, 55. And that my insurance paid for mostly. And then the next week I went back and they removed my lens from my left eye, my good eye, replaced the lens for about $8,000. Had to pay out of pocket so that both lenses worked together, and I no longer had to wear glasses. And guys, I've worn glasses since I was in first grade, so this was a really big deal for me. And he told me I would not get cataracts again. And so, but something's going on with this eye, so we need to take care of our eyes. I mean, I think if I went deaf or I lost my hearing, which I already have a little bit of a loss of hearing, I could resell. But I don't see how I could do this business if I couldn't see. So I'm trying to get in to my ophthalmologist, but they weren't answering today for some reason. And I just would feel better if he looked at this eye. I'm thinking it's allergies of some sort, but I've never had allergies like this before. And I wanted to show you guys this. My friend Bridget, hi Bridget, sent me a huge box of these. These are eye masks. Now these don't have any kind of scent, but I'm assuming you can get them in like lavender or something. Now I opened this one almost 2 hours ago, and it is still a little warm. So what you do is you take this off like this, and when you do that, it starts to heat up, and you put these little funny things. Okay, you look funny, right? And these things get hot, and they stay hot for an hour. I mean, this is awesome. So imagine me in the middle of the night, last month when I had my other sty over here, I would have to get up in the middle of the night to heat my rice pack in the microwave and get back to bed. Now I just grab my box, open these up, put it in, put on a podcast, and away we go. These things are incredible. I may do a product review on my YouTube channel in all my spare time. You guys know how much spare time I have. Again, this is Fresh Morn, but there's no E. So let me just hold that up. That's the brand, Fresh Morn. These things are awesome, guys. Bridget says she uses them for her migraines, and I can see where that would help a lot. Even when I'm done pretty much with my eye, I do put it up on my forehead. I fold it and hold it because it seems like when it starts to feel like it's not hot anymore, if you just kind of do this or something, and then it gets hot again. So then I hold it up, and these things are awesome, guys. I think that's all I wanted to say. I'm getting ready to make earrings. So I have patriotic earrings in my store, tenofheartsstore.com. I have about 20 pair, just one of each design. And then tonight I'm going to be making music notes and like instruments. Like I know there's a flute in there, a saxophone, a clarinet, a drum, treble clef, those kind of things. I have turtles. I have lots of Christmas and a lot of coffee cups. So I'm going to start putting those together tonight, and the ones that I don't have on my website I'm going to put up probably tomorrow. And yeah, I'm loving putting these earrings together. I have ordered a bunch more patriotic ones to give my clients, and I thought they were here, but they're not coming till the 16th. And so I could be giving those away to my repeat buyers right now, and I don't have any patriotic earrings to give out, and that's a bummer. But I'm definitely ready for Christmas. Like I'll start giving the Christmas ones out probably in September or October. I just love earrings. It's just a smart, cheap way to say I love you, like just a little gift, It's a really, I don't know, I love it. Well, I hope you all have had a great week and that you have a great weekend, and I hope again that you're enjoying these rockin' talks. I sure am. It's a lot better than being in traffic. Don't forget that we are all in this business boat together, so paddle on and may God keep you in his pocket. Much love. Bye.